The first element we're going to talk about, and probably the easiest to spot, is the header element. Not to be confused with the headings like the H1s and the H2s that we saw from the previous chapter. Those were to define worded content. Headers section off the top part of content, giving the rest of the area meaning. Probably the most obvious one in a web page is the big header at the top. So these two H1s at the top here, Ultimate Courses in HTML and CSS Basics, can be wrapped in a header element. Remember our parent and child from the intro to this course. This is what's happening here. The header is the parent to these H1s, which are the children. This is why we open it at the top, the H1s are in between, and we close it afterwards. If I save this file, you might notice there's absolutely no change on the right in our browser. This is because these sectioning elements that we're going to go over in this chapter are merely just boxes around the content. They give the page meaning, and they're very useful when it comes to styling, which we'll see in the second part of this course. One way to see our content is to inspect our web page. To do this, we can right-click on the browser and go to the Inspect option. This will bring up what we call DevTools. DevTools shows us loads and loads of information about the web page that we're working on. What we're interested in is this Elements tab at the top here. This shows us the HTML that we have written in the web page that is being shown in the browser. As you can see, we've got our two H1s, and the header element is encapsulating both of them. If I hover over them with my mouse, they get highlighted with blue. So it's definitely there. It just doesn't show when we look at it in the browser. Headers aren't just used at the top of web pages. They can be used for the top of content as well. So as we have our article here, this H2 is the header for our article. So we can add a header around that H2 as well. And that gives our article a header. The same goes for the heading for the list that we have here. All these sectioning elements, as you'll see as we work through, are all interchangeable, and you can use them as many times as you want throughout your web page, as long as they're in the correct place. The only rule about headers is that you can't have a header inside a header, like so. But to be honest, I've never found myself needing one, and you wouldn't either.